Stop me if this sounds familiar. You work hard. You're smart. You do everything you're supposed to do. Yet somehow, you're still broke while that guy from high school who barely graduated just bought his third rental property. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to admit. Getting rich has almost nothing to do with how hard you work. In fact, some of the hardest working people on earth are completely broke. Meanwhile, there are people making millions who work less than you do. The difference? It's not luck. It's not connections. It's not even talent. It's psychology. Your brain is literally wired to keep you poor, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to rewire it. Because once you understand the psychology of getting rich, everything changes. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into something that changed my entire relationship with money, the actual psychology behind wealth. Not the guru BS, not the manifest your millions nonsense, but the real cognitive patterns that separate the wealthy from everyone else. And stick around to the end because I'm going to share the one psychological shift that creates more wealth than any investment strategy ever could. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about why your brain actively sabotages your wealth. Most people operate from what psychologists call a scarcity mindset. This is the deep-seated belief that there's never enough money, opportunities, or resources. And here's the thing. If you grew up without much money, this mindset is literally hardwired into your neural pathways. When you're in scarcity mode, your brain goes into survival mode. You make short-term decisions. You avoid risks. You hoard whatever little you have. It feels safe, but it keeps you trapped. Rich people, they operate from abundance. Not because they're delusional, but because they understand a fundamental truth. Money flows toward opportunity, and opportunity requires risk. Here's a perfect example. A person with a scarcity mindset gets $1,000 and immediately thinks, I need to save this because I might never get it again. A person with an abundance mindset thinks, how can I use this $1,000 to create $2,000? Same amount of money, completely different results. The shift isn't about being reckless. It's about moving from a defensive position to an offensive one. From protecting what you have to actively creating more. Now let's talk about the marshmallow test and why it predicts wealth better than your college degree. In the 1960s, Stanford researchers did a simple experiment. They gave kids one marshmallow and a choice: eat it now or wait 15 minutes and get 2 marshmallows. Decades later, they followed up with these kids. The ones who waited? Higher SAT scores, better jobs, more wealth. This is delayed gratification, and it's the superpower of the wealthy. Poor thinking says, I want it now. Rich thinking says, I want it to compound. This shows up everywhere. Buying a new car the moment you can afford the payment versus investing that money for 5 years. Spending your bonus on a vacation versus using it to build a side business. Binge watching Netflix tonight versus learning a high-income skill. Every single day, you're making marshmallow decisions, and those decisions are either building your wealth or destroying it. The wealthy don't deprive themselves. They just have a different timeline. They're playing a different game. While everyone else is optimizing for today, they're building empires for tomorrow. Here's the final piece most people miss. Information without action is just entertainment. You can read every book on wealth, watch every video, know every strategy. But if you don't take action, nothing changes. And here's the paradox. Most people don't take action because they're waiting to feel ready. Wealthy people understand something crucial. You don't feel ready, then act. You act, then feel ready. Every successful person I've studied started before they were ready. They launched businesses they didn't fully understand. They invested in deals that scared them. They made offers when their hands were shaking. The psychology here is simple. Your brain learns through action, not contemplation. Every time you take a scary financial risk and survive, your brain rewires. What terrified you yesterday becomes normal today. This is how you expand your financial comfort zone, not by thinking about it, but by doing things that make you uncomfortable until they don't anymore. Start small if you need to, but start. Because the gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't closed by knowledge. It's closed by consistent, uncomfortable action.